Philadelphia Eagles are bringing back a stalwart, six-time ex-Pro Bowler, Fletcher Cox. And that's not the only guy that's on the radar with us running a catch and release program here, basically. What's up? It's your boy Cintron. Come back at you with another video, and I kid you not, that's my real name. We're gonna get into news and analysis today, and let's see what surprises we have in store. So, if you haven't figured out, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and man, good start to the day when found out we were re-signing Fletcher Cox, and yeah, it says D in here, but we know it's D tackle for those who are the Midnight Green faithful. It's it was a bit of a middling signing, because I was like, 10 million a year. We just signed him for 14 million a year ago, and he gave us quality snaps, but he was obviously a declining player and a product of those around him. But with Javon Hargrave coming out of the picture, going to the San Francisco 49ers, I think that had a lot to do with it, and we just want some stability there. Jordan Davis, we might not deem him as ready yet. Give him another year to play alongside and absorb the brain cells of a stalwart D tackle like Fletcher Cox. And having him in that room, I wouldn't say it's worth 10 million, but I think with limited slaps. I've been watching slap fight, power slap, whatever, UFC. But with him being on a pitch count and playing, I would say a good 50% of the snaps, I would say that's the most we can get out of him within a game. And probably not even that. If we build the depth right, we are going to get the maximum value, and he still can be forced to be reckoned with the right pieces around him. And we still have Reddick, we still have Josh Sweat. Like I said, we're gonna have Jordan Davis, so he's not gonna have a space occupying role like they tried to give him something to the tune of the dirty work in the 2021 season beginning, and he didn't really take to it. But once he started putting in the work, he really realized that it was a way for everybody to eat and the defense as a whole to improve. And yeah, Gannon's out of here, so we'll see. Have to see how Sean Desai will use him, but I think it's a really positive sign that they really look forward to bringing him back. So maybe look forward to seeing Fletcher and being able to shoot gaps more, or something more along the lines of really using his skill set. And yeah, I mean, the previous D coordinator obviously didn't make a lot of adjustments. We saw that in the Super Bowl. Second half, non-existent. But yeah, I mean, like he was offered more money, as well as Bradbury as well. But he decided to come back, and I'm glad to have him back. Because given the alternative, we could have gotten somebody who maybe was a better player but didn't know the system as well, and just isn't as loyal as these guys. Him and Brandon Graham, James Bradbury taking pay cuts. And let's get to our next guy. Darius Slay, you can see here, he was cut. They didn't say that here, but he's expected to remain with the Eagles. They had a day-long conversation, kept him in the NovaCare facility, and his wife was also tweeting, so that's a good sign. With the eye emoji, that he said, "Run it back, let's run it back." So that points to all signs point to him re-signing with us. And it cleared that cap cutting. I think we're gonna designate it as a post-June cutting. So we're gonna save 17 million. We're gonna pay like 13 million in dead cap money in 2024. But that's besides the point. That's then, the cap most likely increase. That's how he's betting on. We're playing for now. We're trying to get back to the Super Bowl, and the NFC is weakened. One of the best quarterbacks. We'll get to it later. Is most likely going to leave the NFC to go to the AFC and try apply his trade there. I mean, sledding would be easier here, but they weren't going to trade him to a divisional rival or another powerhouse or a rising power that could take that gunslinger and turn it into a huge plus in the win sales and try to float to the top. That would just make them another enemy. Why not just ship them off to a whole other world? Bizarre World, the AFC. But yeah, I mean, it was just a great day, and we're still trying to save money. We can still have some adjustments. We can make the contracts like Lane Johnson's, and really make room to sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's still on the market. We'll get to him a little bit later, but I really think the longer this goes on, like people are saying, the longer it gets, it's drawn out, and he hasn't even. He may be fielding offers, but he hasn't signed. The more positive is that he's more likely to return. I mean, Slade's coming back, Bradbury's coming back. Why not have a three-peat in that secondary? Only losing one starter that's easily replaceable. With you can maybe float a guy out there like our guy we drafted, rookie free agent. His name is not coming to me right now. Reed Blankenship, and he was lights out when he came in played instead of for an injured when he played instead of an injured C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Acquitted himself, picked off Aaron Rodgers, lightning fast. I mean, so it was, such a good beginning to his career. And who knows, maybe it's elevated, but most likely they give him something to think about as far as, competition-wise. Maybe a veteran, maybe a John Johnson, who maybe sees the appeal, the allure of signing, signing on to a Super Bowl caliber championship roster. But, I mean, hey, anything can be had, and we fill more holes than not. And the demise of this defense is greatly exaggerated with us bringing so many pieces back, and not just for the sake of, because I was one on the fence where Fletcher he could go either way, but in hindsight, it might be a little pricey, but I'm glad to have him back in the building at least for one more go. And we already have we covered Kelsey yesterday. He's back on a 1 year, $14.25 million contract as well. The glue of that line keeps it at a great status, even with Isaac Samuel most likely leaving for free agency. So let's get into this day and see who else, see what else we benefited on. I mean, we lost Miles Sanders. He went to the Carolina Panthers for about $5.5 million a year. Running backs are just devalued. But his former running backs coach, Deuce Staley, is there, along with his former offensive coordinator, Frank Reich, who went to the Colts, got fired, and then is now leading the charge in Carolina. But on the comfortability, obviously a point there, and they know the guy, saw him up close for 2+ years at least each, and they're gonna get the most out of him, up there in Carolina and or down there I should say. And yeah, it's a good signing. Happy for Miles that he got his money, but sad to see him leave because just a talented guy. But a lot of people saying that the guy we just picked up from Seattle, he's a better pure runner, and he's 220, faster than Miles actually. So we'll see if he can stay healthy, if he's able to produce. But let's get into the rest of the league and what they're doing and who they signed. So the Arizona Cardinals, we covered some of this yesterday. Ezekiel Turner, 1 year deal. I mean, there's nothing really there. Falcons, negligible. Big signing here, the Tyler Huntley. Well, he received the low restricted tender from the Ravens, and they're pushing maybe. Just putting it out there, just re-sign him, just in case of emergency, because he played solidly for them last year when Lamar was hurt. Justice. Been waiting to say that. Re-signed on a 1 year, $2.55 million deal. Running back to just devalue. You see that here. Super low. One of the low. They're kickers are making that. This is low key, high key disrespectful. Kickers are out here making more money than a lot of running backs. They're the cream of the crop, the best at their positions. But granted, what other position can you say is competing like that? It's just sad. At least even mid-level starters. Kickers. I'm happy for y'all come up. Y'all, are officially people now. But all right, let's see the Buffalo Bills here. Deontay Hardy, punt returner, kick returner, 2 year, $13.5 million deal. He's obviously, going to enhance their special teams, but also he probably is, a good slot receiver. Wiry guy, slim. But the big signing here for the Buffalo Bills is Jordan Poyer, the ageless wonder at safety. What do you call it? He used to be one of our guys, Eagles, many moons ago, but he's expected to re-sign with the Bills, so that's big for them to maintain the continuity within that secondary. They're gonna love that. So, like I said, the Carolina Panthers, they signed Miles Sanders to a 4-year, $25.4 million deal. I mean, like I said, kudos to him. He'll play lights out for them. 1,200 yards and 11 TDs last year, made the Pro Bowl. He might be just starting his arc, and he has low amount of tread on his tires compared to like a Derrick Henry, or like a not Mark Bradley, not Hunt's running partner in the Browns, Bradley Chubb. Sorry, golly. Let's see, Hayden Hurst, 3-year deal here, $21.75 million. So they steal him from the, I believe, from the Ravens. And then just, tight end factory. They had like 3 guys, Mark Andrews and Hayden Hurst, and then another guy they have there now. I forget, maybe he's a backup, just talent that they draft. Because they put a premium on at least having 2 starting level tight ends, double tight end sets. They're big on those. Let's see. Juan Thornhill, a big signing from the Kansas City Chiefs, 3 years, $21 million deal. So you can see the safety market. This is a positive sign. C.J. Garner, maybe it's not going to get too much money. The most I think he's seen this offseason, yeah. J.C. Bates coming from the Cincinnati Bengals, getting 16 a year, $64 million contract, big money. Congratulations to him because the Bengals didn't want to pay him, but it is what it is. But Juan Thornhill getting that, weakening that secondary, but they trusted a lot of rookies. He actually didn't. He wasn't that not favorable of a position last year. Rookies came in and replaced him, I think, due to injury. But Justin Reed was more prominent in that secondary than him. So I'm happy for him. He's moving on. Jadeveon Clowney, who cannot get out of his own way, designated as a post-June 1st release. He showed his ass last year, and who wants to play with a guy like that? Let's see. Big news here in Big D. Ezekiel Elliott is out. So this has been on the books. You're not gonna go watch it, but I said go watch a video in the past where I went over it. As soon as Tony Pollard got tendered, I was like, bye Zeke. They're not gonna put that much on the books, have that much bookkeeping for running backs in Dallas. Would have been like 26 million or 16. Anyways, around at least at 16 million, which is ridiculous. But yeah, Chiefs were actually looking at him, so hey, they do well with running back, so they could make use of him as a battering ram. But he's a halfway decent receiver. But yeah, who cares? And they convert some of Tyron Smith's. He can convert some of his money into to incentives. Again, lowering his cap number. It's a space that they're making in. They're not big participators in free agency, but they're just trying to make a couple moves here and there. All right, let's see any other big moves. Aaron Rodgers said he intends to play for the New York Jets, so that's big news. So it's competition that they need to get figured out. Sounds about right. Jordan Love is the quarterback that they're going to push, and they're ready to figure out what they have in him. Give him a two-year trial. They're going to sign him up for his 5th-year option, and it's a very manageable price, probably in the teens. Teens and millions. A big come up for him, but still very, very palatable for the team. All right, let's see here. Any more? Denzel Perryman is visiting the Texans. He's just out there. Sheldon Rankins, the free agent wonder, signed a 1 year, $10.5 million. This guy gets paid every offseason that he's available. Um, yeah, he last was with the Browns, I think, believe, and yeah, just he puts in, some. I mean, he's a hard worker. If you can constantly get those level of deals, 10 million, 12 million, 13 million, and be mercenary, why not? I mean, he's chasing more of the checks than the ring. So, I mean, do you, man? But yeah, Denzel Perriman's still available. 30-year-old linebacker from the U, talented guy, but just linebackers can't be devalued in this league, and he's more of an old throwback, run stuffer. So speedy guy, but maybe he's lost it throughout the years. But yeah, he's on the shorter side as well, stubby guy. All right, let's see any other news here. Jerry Tillery is re-signing with the Raiders. So I think, wasn't he a former Charger? He went to the Chargers last year, but interesting there. And let's see. Anything else interesting? All right, and Alexander Madison, running back 2, agreed to a 2-year, $7 million deal. So about 3.5, right on the line there. Nice little deal for him. And he's a battering ram. He has some receiving chops as well. So talented guy, gets some the money he deserves. This for me was a shocker. Juju Smith gets $33 million, 3-year deal, and the Patriots valued him like that. I mean, I think he's more of a $7 to $8 million receiver. I think he's a good receiver, but they're paying him good to great money, like very, very good to great money, I would say. And he played with an all-world quarterback last year, had 900 yards, like 2-3 or like 6 TDs or something like that, and it just wasn't spectacular to get that kind of money. And I would say it's more along the lines of Alan Lazard. I mean, that's just a going price, but it just tells you how how high the receiver profile has been raised. That this, he's also ranked. I mean, guy. I mean, he just, after coming off of that, like a 1,400-yard season, he just hasn't sniffed anything like that close. I mean, he's a number 2 receiver, and then even that, like, I question, because he couldn't show it this past year. He had all the opportunities to show up and be that guy, and like maybe it's 1 year playing on only having 1 year to play with Patrick, but just don't see it. All right, but the Patriots are resigning Jabril Peppers. Nice 2-year at $9 million deal. So, like I said, it's like $4.5 million a year. The safety market just might not be biting like C.J. Gardner-Johnson wants it to be. And like I said, but that plays in the favor of the Eagles here, us being able to re-sign him. Riley Reef, talented old tackle. But, he's kind of a journeyman. In between journeyman and a quality starter. Right now, $5 million deal. That just shows you where he's at. Jamal Williams, and they still him from the Lions. 3-year, $12 million deal, so $4 million a year. Just shows you, again, running backs are not making a lot of money. And interesting that the Lions let him go. He set a franchise record, 17 touchdowns, instead of, they signed David Montgomery, who they believe is an upgrade. And like, I think they're more even. I just maybe I would say maybe the receiving chops with him, but I don't know how Jamal is in that role because he didn't really get not much of a chance to show it because the starter, I forget his name, is more of a receiving back. Jamal's more like a hammer, intelligent, smart, and may love a hammer. Love that dude though. All right, Kenny Galladay was released. No surprise there. $72 million over 4 years, and that was a waste. Oh, Solomon Thomas re-signing, the former 49ers lineman, D tackle, 1 year, $3.9 million. Signing with a familiar face there in Robert Saleh. But yeah, hopefully he can get his career back on track. He's a first round pick, but he highly talented. Larry Ogunjobi re-signing on a 3-year, $28.75 million deal. So coming over from the Browns and proved himself there. Nice. You see him get a contract. Let's see anything else notable here. Not a lot happening. I mentioned Baker Mayfield. They're taking a chance on him there in Tampa Bay. $8.5 million 1 year deal. Yeah, man, he's gonna come in and compete for that job, and he might win it. Levante David, 1 year, $7 million deal. So I mean, it's fully guaranteed. Nice. That's a big move for linebackers, but I believe it's more about Tampa brass feeling comfortable with him. Just stalwart, and he's just sideline to sideline linebacker. He's been playing for I think maybe his 11th or maybe going on 12th year. But Super Bowl, he won a Super Bowl with them. Amazing leadership. He gets to continue to mentor Devin White, and you have two of the best linebackers in the league there. Albeit one on the decline in his career, but still playing at a very high level. Let's see, is there anything else? Jacoby Brissett signs a 1 year, $8 million deal, and that probably is gonna put Sam Howell on the back burner as a backup. You don't bring in a guy like Jacoby Brissett just to compete for the job. He's most likely gonna win it if you don't bring in a guy through the draft. All right, let's get into some other news. Before we get into the free agents available, let's just jump into those. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, like I said, number 3 ranked here. I think he's just waiting on us to give him a proper offer. That's it. Odell Beckham, nothing special at this point in his career. You can find better out there in not there right now in free agency, but in the draft. Easy to upgrade. Bobby Wagner, not a surprise because he might just pick and choose his place here, but second team All-Pro last year, had 159 tackles or over, but he was playing at a very high level. Just still brings amazing production and that leadership. Still one of the best middle linebackers at age 33. Dalton Schultz, decent receiving option. Mike Gesicki, more of a receiving option, more like a hyped up slot receiver. Yeah, rocked up slot receiver. Yannick Ngakoue, he gets out as a quarterback, can be a liability, but pass rushers get paid. DJ Chark, 26 years old, has 4.34 speed. He's like 6'3", 6'4", and coming from the Lions, he can get out there and get it, but the price tag. Poona Ford, talented guy, underrated player, could be valued, but probably at the right price. Shaquille Griffin just got cut, so coming off an injury, maybe 1 year, prove it deal. Jadeveon Clowney, talked about it earlier, cancerous to your locker room, so sign at your own risk. Rocket Sin, physical corner, but just not an all-around corner. So, and let's see, anybody else really here? Not a lot. Leonard Floyd can be serviceable in a role. Calais Campbell, like on the decline. Melvin also on the decline. The shocker here for me is Isaac Seumalo. I thought he would get snapped up quick, but I don't know if it's. I think maybe it's people undervaluing him because this Eagles line was so rock solid, and they're kind of putting a discount on his numbers, on his production, based on who he played around, which is just, I don't think it's true. Even then, I think he's still a above average starter, which is like, I'd say he's a top 10 guard in the league. It'd be hard for me to name 9 guys better than him. Not that I can't name 9 guys at guard. All right, I could, but yeah. But in the rankings that are, I don't know guards that well. But Teddy Bridgewater probably going to get a job somewhere. Quality backups are needed. And yeah, I'll just got a lot of also rans here. Like John Johnson, like I say, maybe get signed somewhere. It's just a right fit. Julian Love, you marked the Eagles, shut up. You're broke. Or something like that. But anyways, it's just, a lot of guys here, you don't see a lot of surprises. They're here for a reason. And the last thing we're going to look at today, good news potentially for the Eagles defensive tackle out of Georgia, Jalen Carter, struggles at his pro day. And it's just no surprise because the mental things that he's been going through, dealing with being arrested, temporarily housed in jail, having to deal with, you know, like the repercussions of his decision making, and having that all weighing you while you gotta, you know, eat, train, and, you know, discipline yourself, study, practice, and skills that are not necessarily marketable on the football field, outside of, you know, like an event, you know, the combine. So I mean, like, there's a lot to juggle there, and like he might just tumble, and the Eagles might be able to go up and get him. Think about that: Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, Marlon Tuilalo, I can't say his last name. That would be a very solid 5, you know. So who knows? I still want to go with a corner, trade back, hopefully get Gonzalez, but you know, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like about him slipping. Oh yeah, Cincinnati signed Brown from the Kansas City Chiefs. So I mean, it was a good signing for them. Rob Peter the Payball basically, you know, took their AFC Championship opponents, left tackle. And yeah, I mean, he only got $16 million, but he got $31 million guaranteed, which is the highest guaranteed amount for an offensive lineman ever. But yeah, it's just, highest guaranteed, but like highest, I think, like biggest signing bonus or something like that. But yeah, it just goes to show you that they were just done with kind of like his games, and he got less money than he would have on the franchise tag, you know, this year. But it just, I mean, like he gambled. You could say he lost a little bit, but he got the long-term security. So, but he got the same as a safety, bro. You didn't even get close to, like, you know, setting the market at, you know, at tackle, which he was something I think he wanted to do. But also, you know, he gets to play with Joe Burrow, so it's not really much of a step down at quarterback. I mean, everybody's a step down from the reigning MVP and Super Bowl champion, Patrick Mahomes. But it is what it is. But anyways, we're going to get up out of here. That's all the around the league news and free agency we have on day 4. So we'll see what day 5 brings. Hopefully a CJ Gardner-Johnson signing. And I ain't talking about a fucking jersey. All right, anyways, you're not even watching them, so it's all good. But as always, fly, Eagles, fly, and let mother go.
Like, comment, share, subscribe if you
Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron, Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.